rifle. It is very light. It is very handy, especially when compared to the 1886 and 1888 Mannlicher. This is a good pound lighter, or at least it feels lighter and it feels handier, and much less trouble feeding with the upgraded Mannlicher system using rimless cartridges. Did you see where it went? I think I'm hitting it. We'll fix that.
Fix it in post.
That one felt good. That just felt. Yeah, just slinging it in. Did you see which balloon I'm shooting for?
The middle?
Yeah. Was it over?
It was to the left.
The trigger on this is smooth, but it does not have. It's not a military two-stage. It breaks as a surprise. High.
Die verrückte Minute. Jetzt.
Sticky bolt. I'm shooting neck-sized reloads, so every now and then a sticky case is just going to happen. I neck size so that my case life is dramatically extended, which lets me shoot these old rifles a lot more than I would be able to otherwise. Peanut gallery ready?
Ready. Die verrückte Minute. Jetzt. Sight.
This rifle is really good at making a lot of spent brass very quickly. My Gewehr 88 was made in Spandau in 1895. I really like it because it's one of the few that was not converted to charger clip loading after 1908. Today, the Gewehr 88 has a poor reputation and is rarely understood in its historic context. It's often judged alongside rifles that were adopted more than a decade later. Modern shooters who are familiar with Mausers and Springfields and Enfields criticize the commission Gewehr for its weak action and antiquated features. They fail to see the Gewehr 88 for what it was in 1888, an incredibly modern infantry weapon that embodied the latest tactical and technological innovations. It was a new weapon for a new type of war. The nature of the battlefield was changing fast in the second half of the 19th century. General Helmut von Moltke the Elder, chief of staff of the Prussian and later Imperial German Army for over 30 years, drove a paradigm shift in military operations. New concepts of Auftragstaktik, or mission command, gave junior leaders freedom to use their initiative within broad mission parameters and exploit tactical opportunities without being ordered. The German Army's updated regulations in 1888 famously stated that making a mistake is preferable to hesitating. Moltke told German commanders not to worry about ammunition expenditure, but to overwhelm the enemy in fire. The new 1888 regulations reflected this view of infantry firepower dominating the battlefield. In 1888, there were no machine guns or rapid-firing artillery. They were coming soon, but in 1888, it was the ordinary soldier's rifle that produced firepower on the battlefield. This era was the zenith of the infantry rifle's firepower. The Gewehr 88 was designed to be the rifle that would deliver overwhelming firepower at the decisive moment on the battlefield. It used a new kind of cartridge chambered in what we know today as the iconic 8x57. Head spacing on the shoulder instead of the rim, it was the first rimless military rifle cartridge ever. For rapid and easy loading, the Mannlicher magazine with its en-bloc clip was adopted. It had plenty of flaws, but in 1888, the only other option was a tube magazine, and compared to that, the advantages of the Mannlicher system are obvious. Unlike Austro-Hungarian Mannlichers, the Gewehr 88's rimless cartridges meant that the clip could be loaded in either direction, another small but appreciable advantage. It really is fast and easy to reload the Gewehr 88. A trained soldier could reload in seconds. To facilitate sustained rapid fire, the Gewehr 88 had a full-length barrel shroud to dissipate heat and prevent soldiers from getting burned as they fired and maneuvered on the battlefield. The shroud gives the Gewehr 88 a very old and almost musket-like appearance, especially when compared alongside its other small-bore contemporaries. When the Gewehr 88 was adopted, it was an incredibly modern rifle, the first of its kind in many aspects. So today, 133 years later, when I point out some flaws, I can't really be too picky. That said, there's one thing I don't like about the Gewehr 88, the bolt throw. Unless you are a professional contortionist, there is just no comfortable way to cycle the bolt on the Gewehr 88 from the shoulder. Compared to other military bolt-action rifles, the bolt handle on the Gewehr 88 is about 1.5 inches farther forward. This is part of the legacy of the Mauser 1871, where the bolt handle was also used as a locking lug, even though by the adoption of the Gewehr 88, that was no longer the case. This legacy is very apparent when you lay the Gewehr 88 down alongside more modern bolt-action rifles. That bolt handle really does stick out there pretty far. They would fix it later with the Mauser 98. And the SMLE goes without saying. Though they might have taken a tip from the Austrians, whose 1886 paper-patched black powder non-leasher was still significantly faster than the more modern and later Gewehr 88. The Gewehr 88 was designed for a war that would never come. The firepower of infantry continued to decline up to and even during the First World War, where machine guns and especially rapid-fire artillery were absolutely dominant. Just because it's older than the Model 98 Mauser and can't fire the higher pressure later chamberings for that rifle doesn't mean we can't appreciate the Gewehr 88 for what it was in its time, probably the most modern infantry rifle in the world.